Hello, you guys. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight we're gonna have our weekly reading for the 14th up until the 20th of October, 2024. And actually, I drew the cards a few hours ago, and it does look like that is going to be an easygoing week. That is though dependent what kind of a personality we do have, and that is because of the cards. Hello, Taco. I saw your email, by the way, mate, and this thing you sent me, it's crazy. I'm going to reply to it probably tomorrow. It's quite of a busy day for me today. Anyway, so back, yeah, it was quite crazy, especially with that guy in the car. It was, oh my God. I, I'm sorry for my French, but I would have shit myself right there. Uh, okay, so first one that we do have for the week, that is the Queen of Cups, followed by the second card. The second card I drew, I prefer to show them to you in order. So the second one is the Emperor, and the third card I drew is the Justice. So those are the three cards. Okay, let me get a bit closer here so you can see them well. So that is the elements of dignity I drew, and the week is going to be easy going for the people that can accept that not every time they need to be a hero, and not every time everything depends on them. And so should you have the tendency, sometimes just, when you realize things are out of your control, just, let it be, and go along, so to speak, while it's not going to be exactly alone. It's important here to be acknowledged that you will not going to be helpless, not by a large margin. It's just some of the aspects that you are going to feel are your responsibilities will happen to be someone else's responsibilities, and thus you will have no control over their execution and as well over their performance. But that is not to be said these aspects will not going to be performed well. And for those of you guys who are used to be always at the first gear, always calling the shots, I'm sorry, always being the executive, well, then that's going to be a bit of a rocky week, because it will happen that you have to place your trust in someone else that now actually it's taking over certain, again, aspects that will get outside of your control. Now, another thing that it is important, let me get my coffee here. So another thing that it is important to be acknowledged for the week: friendships and intimate relationships and how we should behave. Can I put it into words? Requesting accountability all the time, at least according to these cards, it's not the way. It's actually going to extinguish and kill the emotions which are within the relationship, whether friendship emotions or whether intimate emotions. So it will be best if you just show a bit of a trust into your partner, and discretion, that is very, very important as well. Be discreet about what is going on within the relationship itself. When something is off, don't kind of like cave under the urge to share it with your best friend, for example. Or if something is kind of tense within the friendship, don't cave under the urge to share it with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend. It's going to be very important that you stay discreet. And so that was for the 12 star sign. Now they're going to be, that was for the collective, I'm sorry, and now there are going to be 12 readings, just as this one, one for each star sign, what kind of a week the people born under the star sign generally are going to have. Bear in mind that these are readings for the astrological signs. They are not your personal readings, so use that information more as a guidance than anything else. But if you do wish to have me interpret for your personal interpretation, you can go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Now, other than that, you can support the show by subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button. That's going to help us a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And finally, if you do wish to support us financially, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal, which link again you are going to find in the description down below. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream, just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for 20. And by the way, happy birthday, Yasmin. I hope you do have a hell of a nice and prosperous personal year. And as well, Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. Let me put you both into the list. And as I said, you're going to have a personalized reading for the week at the end of the stream. Or in other words, what week you both are going to have personally. Right, so the first star sign that I'm going to read for, that's going to be Aries, and you can track which star sign I'm reading for through the glyph being displayed right there on my right hand side. So currently Aries, and Aries glyph is displayed there. All right, first one for Aries, that's going to be the King of Cups here, followed by the Hangman, and the final one, that's going to be the Devil. Okay. So this week you're gonna change a mind. All right, you're gonna change a mind of a very important, either an individual or an entity that can play a major role and is gonna play a major role for you moving forward. You may change the mind of your banker who is denying you a loan, and now they will gonna deny it no longer. You may change the mind of your boss that was denying your raise, and they are gonna deny that no longer. You may change the mind of a person that you like that was a denying you relationship, that will deny you no longer. So you are gonna make a reversal over a denial or a withhold. That is also possible. Someone had something you can work with, you need, but they didn't share that with you. They didn't mention it because, like I said, they had an opinion that you do not deserve it. You change their mind into the opposite, and now you have the offer you need. And everything is going to come with either in a form of an offering, like a proposal, or in a form of offering like a helping hand. Either of which you have to dig really hard, and then it's going to be a long stretch to find a reason to deny it. So long story short, here for you Aries, you have something you're missing, whether you're missing financial stability, whether you're missing love, whether you're missing an opportunity. Well, that gap that you are having missing, or that empty spot you're having missing, will be filled through a proposition that comes from a third party, from another person, or a entity. So that was for Aries. Now moving on, next we do have Taurus. And let me shuffle here. All right, first one for Taurus, 4 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and the final one that's going to be the 10 of Swords. It's a bargain. What I mean is that this week it's going to be pretty clear what's going to take. Okay, it's going to be pretty clear, for example, what's going to take to get a raise. It's going to be pretty clear what's going to take to execute a plan, what's going to take to save your marriage, for example, what's going to take to have a house, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be pretty clear what's going to take, and the reference will be toward an aspect you consider very, very important, in fact very, very essential, so to speak. So if you think that it is essential to have a house, or to have a to own a home in order to feel secure, for example, well, this is where it takes place. Or to move forward. In fact, if you think that having a secure job is essential to move forward with your life, then this is where it takes place, and so on and so forth. And those criteria, what's gonna take, will be take it or leave it. What I mean is either you agree and start moving forward with the enterprise, or you disagree, or in fact reject the conditions and forget about it completely. There will be no middle ground, so to speak. It's a final offer. It's a final verdict, and it will come to you whether you can handle it or not. So the very least, Taurus, that's going to be the week where you're going to know what's going to take, and based on your own personal judgment and your own personal capabilities, you can do the informative decision whether you should pursue the goal or not. And at least according to the cards, you do have what it takes, right? So if you don't have anything better to do, so to speak, well, then I suggest you roll up your sleeves and go forward with it. All right, so that was Taurus. Next, we have Gemini. Page of Pentacles, followed by the 7 of Wands. And a final one that is Temperance. It's a pretty I don't know how to even classify that. Pretty weird, I would say. So it's a person, okay? Person who disagrees with you to a hard extent, or to a rather large extent. Usually these are either spouses or a family members, because we are talking about a disagreement on a profound level, like what you are doing with your life. And usually a casual friends, they don't really care. I mean, they may show it, but they don't, deep down, deep in themselves, they do not. While here the caring is sincere. I mean, this person or that entity or this individual, they truly care what you are doing with your life. And at this current stage, they do disagree, okay? And they find it rather quite difficult to respect your ways. And you will have to go through that process. But what will happen throughout the week, it is that while they do disagree, they're gonna kind of like abate the pressure on you. So if it is a family member, they ain't gonna harp on you that often, or if it is a spouse, the same thing. They aren't gonna give you as hard time as they have given it to you up until this point. And instead, that person will try to support you on one narrative, though, on one direction, on one thing. So maybe you are going to be given the can I put it into words, the luxury to choose what direction you would wish to be supported under. And the reason why that's gonna happen, in a sense of that, why they're gonna change tactics, why that person is gonna change tactic, is because you may believe it or you may not believe it, but you actually happen to be something important for them in their lives. So that is kind of like unexpected support, even though the entity that gives you the support don't understand why you are doing this to yourself. Okay, so that was for Gemini. Now next we do have Cancer. First one for Cancer, that's going to be Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Cups, and the last one, that will be the Queen of Swords. Right, so these are the three cards. Phew, man, that's going to be a bit tough. Try and put it into words. All right, so expect that this is going to be the week where an individual that severely disappointed you in the past is going to try to fix that. You may not have been seeing each other for, say, a decade, but that person is going to reappear in your life. And yes, it's very possible to be some kind of an ex, right? It's very possible to be an ex you had in high school and they disappointed you there. You thought that you were going to be family and whatnot, but say they went to college, found another girl there or another boy, whatever the case, and left you for it. So it's a person that left you with a bitter taste, and in fact it left you with a significant doubt in love in general. And so now they're about to show up trying to fix that. So it's very possible to be an ex, right? And what's gonna destroy the whole atmosphere here is if you hold them accountable. Okay, here the key things to work out for you into the upcoming week, Cancer, is to adopt the standing that the past is in the past. Yesterday is yesterday, and if you try to recapture it, the only thing you do is losing tomorrow, right? So don't hold that person accountable if you want to experience love throughout the week and you are single. Now, for those that aren't single, this is a week of independence. What I mean is that while you are in a relationship, you will have the freedom to do and to experience what you want, okay, without having to acknowledge or without having to entitle in any way your spouse. And don't get too attached to it, at least according to these cards, because this could damage your relationship, or rather the comfort in your relationship. All right, so that was Cancer. Moving on, next we do have Leo. Our first one for Leo, that's going to be the Ace of Cups, followed by the Four of Swords. The final one, King of Wands. Right, so we do have for you those three cards. Hello, Susie. Welcome to the stream. Now, a couple of ways how this can play out. One of the ways is that you will find yourself having a window of opportunity throughout the week, a window to push really, really hard toward manifesting your ambition. Now, whether your ambition is riches, whether your ambition is health, whether your ambition is influence, whatever the case, right? So you're going to have a window of opportunity to push really, really hard. And if not manifesting entirely your ambition, the very least transforming it into a very powerful drive. And exactly at that moment, snap, in your environment, in your life, into day-to-day routine, more specifically, an activity appears that will make you very joyful and very happy, but it is in a direct conflict with that ambition. So you will have to either forsake your happiness, manifest your ambition, at least for the time being, for the duration of the week, or you will indulge within the happiness and put your ambition on hold until the next window. The choice is entirely yours. And another thing, according to these cards, no matter how much you try to consult yourself with what is the best thing you can do, in that particular case, which is the better choice, the only one who knows that it is you. So no one can give you a sound and objective advice about it. Now, the other way how this could play out is a bit different. It's about partying a lot and finding that actually you do not enjoy that much doing it. So you will find enjoyment in something else, in something different, and thus little by little you will, at least for the duration of the week, detach yourself or relinquish straight away the party life. These are the two ways how those cards can manifest. All right, next, that will be Virgo. Page of Swords, followed by the Sun, and the last one that's going to be the Page of Wands. It's a mending opportunity, all right? To mend, I can't really say that it's even a relationship. It's more like a interaction. Say you have started a job recently, and you and a colleague that it is there, you aren't getting along very well. In other words, you have started on the wrong foot with this person or with the entire department, for example. And now throughout the week, you are going to break a leg, in fact, two legs, and find a way to work with these people, not just only to work with them, but also to have a fun with those people. And once you do so, you will see that you can learn from not just only from that experience, but from them as individuals as well. And in some lucky of you, it will happen that exactly with the individual you had a quarrel with, you can find the help you needed for something, right? So it's an unexpected ally, and you don't have to even bow, right? You and them So have to acknowledge that you are having your differences, and neither you can convince that person into your righteousness, neither they can convince you in yours. So you can live in harmony with your differences, because at the end of the day, at least according to these cards, those differences doesn't matter. And from these people, once you kind of like mend the interaction, mend the relationship, whether again that could be your colleagues, whether that could be a neighbor you have, and so on and so forth. Once that mending happens from them, it's very likely that you will adopt some kind of an idea or a vision that will work for you in a surprisingly good way. Now, in a personal development for you, Virgo, that's going to be a week where you will have a very unorthodox and untraditional thought, again, in a form of idea for an experience. And the only question is going to be whether you will be able to fit in or get along with that experience. And the answer is yes. So be brave to explore. All right. That was Virgo. Now we have Libra. The Emperor, followed by Seven of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Now that is a pretty straightforward interpretation. And someone wants your place, someone wants your job, someone wants your girlfriend or a boyfriend, someone wants your influence, someone wants your place. And this is going to be the week where you will find out who that one is. So kind of like you are going to come along, or not come along, but figure out who your true and most impactful rivalry is. We aren't talking here even about a competition. That is a pure rivalry out of spite and out of jealousy that these cards are showing, and the attitude that is adopted from the other side is to destroy it. Okay, so the foe is not formidable, not at least at that stage. You can simply crush them, if you will, with your resources. Are you decisive enough, though? Now that's going to be the question. So at least according to these cards, you will find out who the foe is through the gossips which you will hear about yourself. And the one who is spreading those rumors and those gossips, it is the one that wants your place. And if you do not crush them, well, those gossips and those rumors are going to escalate pretty quickly. And for what you thought you have ensured a secured future will end up being very, very fragile, in fact. So this is a week where a decisive course of action is required to show people with examples that they cannot fuck with you in any way. All right, so that was Libra. Moving next, that will be Scorpio. Hello, Sandy. Wow. Knight of Cups is the first one. Now followed by Six of Wands. And the third one, that's going to be the Four of Wands. You know, that remind me something Pisces Moonbeam told me once back in the day. Okay. Uh, we had a discussion over some kind of an idea. I don't really remember what the discussion was over. It was over work, but what kind of a thing we were doing, I don't remember. Was it interactive readings or whatever the case? And I had that idea, and when I shared it with her, she told me, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You know what happens when you like when you get into a girl? You get her on the dinner, you get her out, you flirt with her, you have a love game, you have a sex, and then the orgasm. You do not go for the orgasm first, okay? So that is what Scorpio kind of like is facing, because what those cards are showing here is that there is a person around them that the Scorpio at this point happens to be everything that this person have ever wanted, but getting it too quick, it's going to kill that sensation, right? For example, you have a person around you, Scorpio, that you happen to be everything they have ever wanted for business, and you are taking on the business way too quick without making, for example, your research, without paying attention to the important details, to the essential details. Then this behavior, this attitude is going to kill that sensation that you happen to be the business partner, that individual, everything was that this individual have ever wanted. Same thing could be said for a relationship. So important thing to acknowledge here is you need to take it slow, step by step, put an effort into your intentions and into your actions, and you're gonna have this one in the bag. All right, but that's not gonna be a week where you can experience a peaks like the top of the top, because it will be a slow process. It will be a hustle, but it's gonna worth it at the end, because under the influence and the energy of the Knight of Cups, you can get as big as you are capable of, but it will rely on your own capabilities, not on your passion, not on your feelings, on your capabilities. All right, so that was Scorpio. Now moving on, next we do have Sagittarius. The World, followed by Justice, and the third one, that's going to be the Eight of Cups. It's a promise for a much better fortune that you are finding yourself currently. For what those cards are showing here is that it's very similar to the collective reading. What these cards are showing is that into your current endeavors, the deal is pretty much sealed, and while you may not agree with it, while you may twist and turn, try to alter it in a certain way, that will not gonna be exactly possible, okay? And while you may not be happy with how things are turning right now, the future perspectives which are gonna open up for you, and believe me, they are gonna open up for you. As soon as you close the book of your current enterprises and you start looking around for new perspectives, for new enterprises, they will appear in front of you in a much better light and with a much better potential than those that you are regretting being a part of at that point. So it's all about you getting closure, and you can get a closure within this week. So I suggest you to do it fast. Nancy, thank you for the 20. We are going to answer that question, whether Scott is a good romantic partner or a good romantic option or not. Let me put you into the list. All right, so that was Sagittarius. Now moving on next, we have Capricorn. Well, Susie, you're a tea person. I prefer coffee much more. But there was something that I was saying today. I am not a rich by a large margin, guys. Okay, but I can consider myself that I do have enough to have an average life. But back in the days, we were very poor. And I remember that we had for dinner bread with a piece of cheese and sweetened tea. That was for dinner, right? And that was the best freaking dinner I ever had. It was the most tasteful dinner that I ever had, right? It was that simple. It was that unpretentious. And I bet that you can go to any chef you want and taste any food you want. Nothing is gonna taste like that. Nothing ever is gonna taste that genuine and that tasty. Ah, I get it. It's easy. It's just that broad memory of that supper we had back in the days. All right. For Capricorn, Knight of Swords. The High Priestess. And then it is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, I guess so, Sandy. And yeah, Taco, it's simple and steadfast. It was. I'm gonna make myself that dinner tomorrow. I'm telling you guys that's what's gonna that is what I am going to eat tomorrow. I just have to. And do you know what? I'm sorry that I am kind of like digress here, but the tea wasn't even bought. We had that tree. I don't know how it's called in English, but I remember my grandma was kind of like gathering leaves from the tree, and she was making tea out of it. I'm gonna check it out right now. Hold on a second. Okay. Come on, are we gonna type? Okay. Linden?
Linden.
Linden. Yeah, it was a linden tea. And like I said, it was the best freaking. Just, oh my god, it was out of this world. Anyway, so back to Capricorn. It's again an interaction with an individual, which is gonna offer resolutions. I can't even say solutions, but more like a resolutions to stir a situation that it is that is in standstill, so to speak. I don't want to say that it is on halt or that it is stagnated. Yeah, it's linden. It's linden tea. So it's a situation that it is on it's the word is not on hold. What word did I use? Unmoving. It's kind of like it's not developing. It's in on the same place. And the thing about this resolution is that it's gonna be very effective resolution, but unfortunately unavailable at that point. So it's gonna be important for you Capricorns to take it with a grain of salt. And when I say to take it with a grain of salt, it's not like it cannot work or you have been lied to. It's just the time frame may not be the one that you have been promised to. Now imagine you want to work with someone, right? And that person tells you, yes, I do want to work with you as well, but right now it's impossible because of those reasons. However, I have a solution to it, and in a 2 days or 3 days top, we're gonna end up being partners. But it may take a couple of months instead of 2 or 3 days, but eventually that resolution can be implanted. So on top of that, you must have that healthy sense of mistrust to a certain extent, and take what you are being given as a resolutions with a grain of salt. On top of it, you must show a bit of healthy patience, so to speak. However, the resolution, it will be the one that can work, and it will be the one that you will like to be a part of. It will be something that sounds well to you. Okay, so that was Capricorn. Now moving next, that's going to be Aquarius. The World, followed by Queen of Cups, and the final one that's going to, oh my god, Ten of Cups for Aquarius. So this is going to be, oh my god, such a good week for Aquarius, because at some point throughout the week you will look around and you'll say, you know what, that's enough. I have everything I need to be happy. And that's not even the best part, because the best part is that you can stuff in even more. So if you have certain bar, well, everybody has that bar, but the bar that you need to reach in order to consider yourself fulfilled is accomplished or is reached in this week, and then you won't drop down that bar for a very long time, if ever. Okay, And that has a lot to do with your friendships. That has a lot to do uh, with people that you are supporting each other in general. Okay, and through that support, through that reliability that you can have in these people, and through that confidence in them, and also trust, that's going to be a big part of being able to point and say, I have everything I need to be happy. And then when that happens, a calmness falls on top of you, and suffuse your life. And through that calmness, or rather like stepping on that calmness, a lot of doors will open to you. Okay, because you are going to be in peace no matter what happens. You do have that happiness there to support you in everything you are about to go through. So it's a blessing. You will find a huge blessing that will be always there and always yours. Take it. All right, so that was Aquarius, and finally we do have Pisces. King of Pentacles for Pisces, followed by Knight of Cups, and the final one, that's going to be the Hierophant. It's a pretty easy interpretation for you guys. You're welcome, Susie. So you Pisces, you also are going to have an individual out there for you, which individual this week is going to be willing to give what it takes, or to do what's needed in order to tie up a loose ends, or in other words said, to get the job done. And that will have a lot, that is going to have a lot to do with deficiencies, right? So whatever you are deficient into, that person has and that person gives, right? If you are deficient in money, that person can give you those money. If you are deficient in time, this person can lend you a hand. If you are deficient on, I don't know, on skills, that person can teach you into these skills. And this will happen to be someone like I don't know, a guardian, a mentor, something of that, someone of that magnitude, that if you do wish to, they can be with you every step of the way until you get it right, until you get your problems fixed, until you end up being successful at work. Okay, it's just you're going to end up having a very valuable ally that's going to support you with the resources that you may end up having lacking at that current stage. And if you think of why it is the reason that this is happening, it is because you happen to be, I don't know exactly the right word here, so I'm going to use the word collateral, and I'm going to try to explain what I mean. Imagine that you're having business, but your business currently is having a financial difficulties, and that person has the money you need, and they hate your competitor, right? So with that, with them investing into your business and bringing it back on its feet, it's not taking away from you, or rather like they are winning, but their winnings are not something that they are taking away from you. They are winning through you annihilating your own competition, so it is a win-win. And at the end of the day, you both are going to benefit from all that. So that is going to be a person, whether a woman or whether a man, that you can have a full reliability into. They ain't gonna screw you around, and they will not going to kind of like cheat you in any way. And on top of that, they're willing to put up the hard work and to back you off at least throughout this week in any situation you're finding yourself into. So that is going to be a quite of a valuable ally that you are going to face throughout the week. So with that said, this is going to conclude the 12 star sign and star signs. Now the super chat readings are coming along, and the first one, that's going to be Yasmin. So Yasmin, let's see what kind of a personal year you're going to have looking forward. Hold on a second here. Happy birthday, by the way, once again. So let's check it out. All right, so those are the three cards. Yasmin, Three of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and Justice. Quite busy. Personal year, busy with a, how can I put it into words, a personal growth. So think of it that way, Yasmin. You know that you are good in something. Everybody knows they are good in something, but for some reason you happen to imply that skill for someone else, whether for a company that you are working into, whether for a business partner, and so on and so forth. And this is going to be the year where you are going to break through the fear of doing it by yourself. So you're going to challenge yourself to do that what you are good into, very good into, for your own entirely own a personal benefit. So that is going to be an year of a personal challenges, by you stepping on the already established foundations like knowledge, like experience, and making a big targets, or kind of like establishing a high aims, which aims are going to be accomplished one by one. And you may find yourself having a high expectations for how you're going to go through that personal year, and all of these expectations are going to be pretty much met. However, like I said, very busy personal year, which you will happen to have to be put under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, because there is going to be a lot of responsibilities that you will need to handle, that you're going to need to tackle in order to meet those personal expectations that you're going to have, and to answer the personal challenges that you're going to bestow upon you. So you will find less and less personal time throughout that year, because you will be overrun with, like I said, all these responsibilities. Another thing about this this year is accountability. Everything and everyone will be held accountable for everything they did for you or against you, and you are going to be held accountable as well. So if you had a honest, open, and as well fair life, or fair behavior, or whichever way you want to call it, you will reap great rewards throughout this year. And I think that that's what's going to happen, because justice is in a friendly position to the Three of Wands. But those who try to wrong you or wrong you in any way, well, they are getting what they deserve for it. It's coming down, okay, in that personal year that you're gonna have. But whatever big dreams you have, Yasmin, that's gonna be the year where the very least the first steps are gonna be set. Successful first steps are gonna be set toward those big dreams. So that is what kind of a personal year you're gonna have. Now, next, that's gonna be Taco. So let's see what kind of a week you're gonna have, mate. No, I don't think so, mate. All right, so those are your Lenormand cards here. That's going to be the bucket, the scythe, and the sun. I had to draw your tarot cards in order to identify what it is, the scythe here. So those are the three tarot cards for you, because the scythe could stand for slicing, or it could stand for harvesting as well. And in your case, it is harvesting. So the bucket stands for gifts or bonuses, the scythe for harvesting, and the sun is always success in Lenormand. So we do have bonuses, harvest, success, or successfully harvest bonuses. And that's what we have now here with tarot cards. It's a leap into development for you. So through these, whether gifts or bonuses, you are about to make a leap into your development. Try and put it into words. Having the devil next to the Nine of Pentacles, that is yeah, something like that. Taco. Wow. Well, I'm glad that's, well, that's the scary thing about Lenormand. I mean, they never lie. But the thing about this, these leaps into your development, mate, is that they are about to fulfill your yearnings. Those are the cards showing it now, the Nine of Pentacles and the Devil card. Okay, so ultimately, these things that you wanted, that you couldn't have, now this harvest delivers. But in order to assimilate them, okay, you are gonna have to kind of like drop off a dead weight. What I mean is like deliver yourself from say people or things that are unnecessary around you, or even plans that could be. But long story short, here is that you will have, and as you are saying, you're already having it, a leap into your development, and that's going to be the week where you will harvest some bonuses, or, as you mentioned here, some more bonuses and success than ever before. That will again happen to be a huge thing, a big thing for you, a leap into your development that will have the potential to fulfill your yearnings and as well your wishes, and is going to give you the power to dictate the rules as well. Just don't abuse it. Okay, Taco, that's great. All right, and last but not least, Nancy, you're welcome, mate. Let's see if Scott is a good romantic option. Talk soon, mate. Take care. Those are cards. And yes, it is. But there is always a but. Okay. So here is the thing here, Nancy. That is a person that you can have an unconditional trust in. All right. That is a person who will not gonna betray your trust and always is gonna be there for you. Not to mention that has a potential to love you more than you have ever been loved before. The issue is a different agenda. You and that person have a different agenda, and until you can find a mutual one, that is always gonna be a thorn in that particular relationship. Okay, and the first step that you should take in order to overcome that status of different agendas is by help him with something, or if he wants to help you with something you have, allow him to do so. The recipe here is to involve yourself into his problems and him to involve himself into your problems, and then little by little the agenda will fuse. Both agendas will fuse and they will become one. But it is a really good option for you to have a real love with that person, a real one. Okay, guys, so that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and as well, thank you so much for your generosity, and we're gonna see each other next time. Now, until then, bye.